What is going on, you guys? Today, I want to talk to you about why I'm returning to my passion for writing music for video games and film. So, if you're new here, I'm Cole, I'm 33, and I've been through some struggles recently. Basically, hit rock bottom. You know, a company that I was working for, they closed down, and I've had a few job opportunities fall through, and it's left me in a tough financial situation in Southeast Asia, very close to just a bad place. Let's just say that. And this might sound a little bit crazy, but it's also made me realize that I really suppressed my passion and my talent for music for a long time. And it's kind of interesting because I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. So, I grew up playing video games. It was one place where I was really able to enjoy several versions of art mashed into one. Like the beautiful music, the beautiful artwork, the cinematics, everything. Just everything about it. Like, it was fun. It was like a stress reliever. It could take your mind off of things. So it was like a little bit meditative. There's a lot of things that I enjoy about video games. And you know what? I actually stopped playing those as well because I got, I think there's a good balance to strike, but I got a little too wrapped up in my self-development journey, self-improvement, right? And I get it, right? Like, you can definitely play too many video games or spend too much of your time doing that. But honestly, I think on one hand, it would help me to maybe go back to it a little bit. But also, I want to give you the real reason here because I loved those growing up. They inspired me. It brought out my inner child, or in other words, inner creative. And later on, I picked up a guitar. It was actually my sister's guitar, and she never really learned to play. So I picked up a guitar around middle school. So that was over 15 years ago now. And you might be able to guess. Sure, I was learning things like Nirvana and AC/DC, but I was mostly learning video game music. And no one really knew what I was playing. I just liked the music. It was always I remember like playing games like Pokemon, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Halo, what else? Final Fantasy, that was a big one for me, like the music. I would always whistle the music in Final Fantasy or Pokemon. That was when I learned to whistle because it was all so catchy. And I played music, played in bands for a while. I started playing like rock, punk, screamo, metal, death metal, all of that kind of stuff. And eventually I started making music electronically, through like the computer. So I developed a skill set and a talent to play music, write music, and produce it. So played in bands for a while, played shows in front of people, of course. Later on learned Latin music and jazz, which was fun as well. And then I went to school. There's actually a school in San Francisco called the San Francisco Conservatory of Music for a 1-year intensive program. And basically, it had a lot of great mentors there, like from Valve Games or Sony PlayStation. I even went to the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, which is annual and international. So, I had mentors from Nintendo, Blizzard, like all these places, right? And it's really interesting because that program that I went through was like intensive, and it taught you about creating and implementing the technology side of audio into AAA video games, like big video games or indie video games and film. Because obviously that was a passion of mine. And it's crazy to say this, but I actually stepped away from it for a while. And the reason why is because I got so stressed out about it becoming my source of income, the thing that I used to love, that was my passion. So, to make this as short as possible, when I finished school and I started networking, like I met a lot of great people. I met Harry Gregson Williams, I believe is his name. He worked a lot with Hans Zimmer in the past. They created a lot of music for big Hollywood films. You can go look them up. Again, like a lot of great big video game mentors. So I was on the right path. And then Schmovid happened, right? And it wasn't just that. I think I lost some steam as well. Because I graduated, Schmovid happened, and then it slowed down my networking steam. Now, after that, I struggled getting to networking events, partly because they were expensive, right? Some weren't, and some were, but it always required me, either like spending money that I didn't have, really. I was driving Uber in LA, trying to make ends meet to network. I was a barista for a while, and as you can tell, like that's not really something that's ideal when you're getting close, like around your 30s, and you're like the starving artist. And to be honest with you, I did manage to land a few gigs where I earned several thousand off of writing music for film and video games. Like I had a short anime project. I had there's like a documentary on the Mother games from Nintendo. There was maybe 3 or 4 video games that I wrote a few tracks for. And again, like I made several thousand of it, so I see the potential in it. And it's funny I'm about to say this, but like I had a few of those happen, and then the gigs started falling away, and I was having trouble either networking on Twitter or in person. Like not enough events. I thought there would be more in LA, to be honest. There are some more like video game audio people there, or film audio people. And sometimes it left me wondering if I should have moved to Seattle instead, or just straight up to Tokyo or something. Maybe I still can. It's hard to say being in a tough financial position. Even I think you can make it work anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, because it's really a remote job, unless the company is picky, or you're just you're being hired from your home. Because that's what happens with most composers, is they do it from their studio or their home, because they have such a good setup at home. Because you can do that now. It's not like the old days, really. So, I know I said I was going to keep this short, but basically, a few of my gigs fell away, and then I was struggling, and then I was Ubering more, spending way too much time doing that. That's like less than minimum wage, which is garbage. And what else can I say? I mean, it's funny I'm about to say this out loud, but one of the last things that made me quit music for a while was I applied, and actually I had like 5 rounds of interviews with Riot Games. If you don't know, they're the creators of the League of Legends series. And man, I was excited. I was like, okay, like this is working. This is one of the first times I've made it this far. Like, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna just be real with you. I get that this is a thing. Maybe it's with tech jobs or other jobs, but 5 interviews is a lot. I kind of wish that they had like one person that was a really good interviewer, and that would have been it. Because I made several good impressions on a lot of the people, and then I made it to the last interview, and it's this always happens, right? You blame yourself and you question like, oh, what did I do wrong? But the last guy, it was between me and this other girl, and she got picked, which is totally fine. I'm happy for her. It was just tough, and it made me spiral into this feeling of like, what is this all for? Like, why am I doing this? 5 interviews. I'm having trouble getting gigs. Why don't I just go back to some whatever job? Again, tough to say when you're 30s and you know thinking about doing like a 9 to 5 or barista or Uber again. Like that's not what you want, Not ideal, let's say. And I think I lost belief in myself, which was the worst part, because belief would actually solve a lot of things there. Like it'll make you able to make as much money as you want. Like I got really good at sales after that. I had a 2-year sales contract with a YouTuber named How To Beast, and it opened up my eyes to a lot. Making money online, being able to work remotely. I've been in Latin America, like Peru, Mexico, Colombia, Bali, Thailand. It's been amazing. And here I am around Christmas time thinking I need to go home because finances ran out and I gave up on my passion as well. I don't want to do that anymore. So I may find something remote in the meantime. If I can, hopefully that's the goal. So I won't have to move back home, especially move back home with my parents at 33. That's like, this is one of the worst feelings as a man, is struggling financially. Because you realize that it's tough to, number one, support yourself. And then if you want to support someone else, you want to be able to do that. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's not a good feeling, especially when you want to be a father one day. And you got to take care of things like this first to make sure that you can be that guy, So, long story short, that might happen. Might have to move back home with the parents for a while, who knows. And it's all putting me in a position of realizing what's important as well. Like the fact that I suppressed my inner creative, that musical talent that I was gifted with. I'm not going to say I'm like this incredible musician or anything. I do have a talent for playing music, writing it, being able to hear something and play it back, or compose, for video games and film. I've done it before, and I've seen the proof that I can make it happen. I just need a different approach. Maybe I need to become more of a businessman as well. Being able to scout and network properly, whether it's on Twitter or in person. So if you know more about this, I would love to hear from you. Put a comment down below or send me a message, because it makes you realize what's really important in life when you lose everything. That's all I can really say there. And being able to share my passion for anime, video games, writing music for it, allowing people to connect emotionally with it the way that I did growing up, that would mean the world to me. And I know it's possible. And I think it's because I lost the belief that I quit for a while. And I got stressed about it being my source of income, so I stopped doing that thing that I loved and that was fun for me. But this is why I'm returning to it. Slowly but surely. I don't have any of my music gear with me here in Bali. So I'll have to figure out whether I need to rent out a studio occasionally when I can, because finances are tight, or if I need to just go home. It is what it is. You got to be able to pay the bills too, so I'll figure something out. And that's one key thing too, is if you ever have to do a day job and it's something that you really want to do, you got to work that day job, the 8 hours or whatever, and then put in 30 minutes when you're done with work, or 30 minutes to 2 hours to make the other thing that you're really passionate about happen. So for me, it would be like day job and then the 30 minutes to 2 hours for music afterwards, networking, writing music, etc. So I'm going to stop rambling here, and I appreciate you guys, anybody who's made it this far in the video. I just want to share this with you because I'm sure someone can resonate with this. You stopped doing something you love, something that could actually make you a decent living, because you found it challenging, you found it difficult, you quit before you made it a reality. because you were lost in how to bridge to that reality. So if you like this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, give me a comment, share your story down below. I would love to hear it and connect with you guys more. And subscribing is free. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers where I can monetize the videos and start live streaming as well. So, I would love the support, and I'll share more with my full journey here with you soon. All right, guys. Peace.